and welcome back to this collective and timeless reading. This is Eastar Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a reading today, a collective reading for everyone here to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to deliver as a message to us today. And we got our Stranger Things deck. I'm so happy I got this deck because I thought it was going to be, kind of a silly deck, but I actually really like it as a tarot reading deck. So, unexpected places we can find, our tools, right? And it really matches the season right now, especially where, Stranger Things happen in that special time in autumn, right? And literally the new season's coming out soon, so I think end of November, actually. Yeah, end of November, so the final chapter. Maybe there's a final chapter for you right now. Maybe something's coming to an end. Oh, here we go. Two of Spokes. You got like the two people on the bike. I think that's actually a really good card. I like that. Now, Spokes, even though I really think Spokes should have been Pentacles in this deck, but it's the Cups. So, Two of Spokes. Interesting. So, Two of Spokes or Two of Cups is often about, coming together with someone. Like it's usually two people with each with a cup, right? So there's this collaborative coming together, but usually it's kind of like a friendship or, something really about your heart, right? Connecting with someone. But it can also mean like a contract, something like that. And I got this card here that was left behind, so I have to pick it up. Another Spoke card. Interesting. I think that's Destin. Yeah, it looks like Destin. It's the style of it makes me and the lighting makes me question, but yeah. So Six of Spokes, that's Six of Cups. And that's like nostalgia, right? It's usually like warmth memories from nostalgia, and like these are two very like warm cards, like warm and seem to be about friendship here. Yeah, there's a lot of friendship going on. I just want to grab actually and see for a Six of Spokes what it says. Because sometimes the meanings in this deck are a little bit different, so I just want to double check. Yeah. But I do get the sense that this is like maybe a new friendship coming in for you, or just like that feeling of belonging. And actually, I think even like an old friend, like this could be like you coming together with some old friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Excuse me, my throat's kind of scratchy. And it's like he's got one cup there, but it's got all these straws, right? It's meant for all kinds of people. You see? They're picking straws, I think, in this scene, but it gives me the sense of like you can share with a lot of people. There's a lot of people with you, like and a coming together. There's a fair in the background. So it's like going out on the town with someone and having fun. But like it feels like a group of friends almost. And maybe this is like friends from your childhood or just from your past that you haven't seen in a long time, but you're like reconnecting with. And I can tell that you're having a fun time, like you're happy with it. Yeah, it's like a really nice thing. Maybe it's coming from a time where you didn't get to see people for a long time, and now you're coming into that stage of your life where you can let people in again, or you can just make the time for them, or maybe even you're just learning how to relax into that more. Yeah. Yeah, it is a card about nostalgia, so it is like the original Six of Cups. Oh, it's not Destin. This is Alexei. Yeah. That doesn't really matter for the meaning, but for me, who the characters of the show, I like seeing what character it is. That makes more sense. It's Alexei. He like he's a scientist that he has to go through a lot of I think he's a Russian scientist, or he's very paranoid. I know that he spends a lot of time hiding from the government, but then he ends up with Hopper and Joyce, and somehow he ends up at the fair, and he has such a good time. He's just loving it. It's like he's finally free. Interesting. Maybe you felt kind of imprisoned in your house for a long time, and now you're finally getting yourself back out there, and it's feeling really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. The innocence of childhood and the peace, and yeah, the peace that comes from connecting to your past. Get yourself a cherry slushy because it's time to indulge in some simple pleasures. So, yeah, it's like you're riding out with someone on a bike. Now, maybe not literally, but it could also be literally. But you're going out with a friend. Maybe you're just making a new friend and you're having a lot of fun together and you're remembering like how to have fun like you did as a kid. And it's just such a nice feeling. Yeah, really warm, really exciting. And just relax, peaceful, because it's just so nice when we feel that sense of belonging, right? Hmm. And here today I brought in the bear statue, as well as a piece of raw blue lace agate. It's a really nice textures to it. You can see the blue really well, but it just I don't know why I like feeling it. It's so rough, but in a kind of a I don't know, like a if you're neurodivergent, you know, you just like to touch certain things, right? Let's see here. Seven of dice, which is seven of swords, and there's a treasure chest. Interesting. And then the emperor. Hmm. Okay. And they're saying one more card, so I'm going to draw one more card. Here we go. Six of scoops, which is the Six of Pentacles. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, so again, we have that energy of two people coming together, right? With the two hands, each have an ice cream. And it really fits in with these cards, but these cards have a real different energy to them. Seven of dice is like seven of swords, right? And seven of swords can warn us against deceptions being and having to be careful with our words. We also have Bob the magician on the bottom, so I think there's a message about personal empowerment here as well. So I'm wondering about this emperor here. Like maybe there's someone you're leaving behind at home that's a little annoyed that you're out having fun. Because it's like you were their treasure. And now that treasure is left and they're like, huh. I don't know, there's just a funny energy here, but I'm gonna take a look at the deck here just to see if there's something different about the seven of dice that I'm missing in this deck. Yeah, as Will once said, something is coming. Make sure your party is aligned. There's a sense of uncertainty, of potential dishonor. Unless you have your campaign planned out, you might find yourself taking a critical hit. Take more time to fully understand your situation before deciding on a course of action. You won't regret it. So yeah, same meaning. Where you have to be very careful, right? Because in the Rider-Waite, it's a man with seven swords, and he's trying to sneak away with them. He's trying to be very careful, and the swords are like the wind element, your mind, mental, and so there's this message about deception and using your words carefully. Sometimes it calls us to be deceptive with our words, but not in a way that's evil, in a way that is to our own benefit. Because sometimes in life we have to be, we have to tell white lies, or we have to just be careful. And sometimes it's not necessary to harm someone else. Sometimes it's just to keep ourselves safe. So the first instinct I got with that was this is someone who's, feels like their loot was taken. This emperor here. So be aware of that. Maybe if there's someone, I don't like where this is going, but like, if there's someone trying to hold you back from that, maybe, try to be strategic with your words, and maybe even, I don't want to tell you to lie, but maybe just keep your information to yourself. Like don't share anything unnecessarily right now with people you don't necessarily trust, or people that are, because the emperor here, normally it calls you to be in control of yourself and take charge of your life. But right now I'm getting a controlling person. I'm getting like annoyed. I'm getting like irritated. Like someone's trying to hold you back, like trying to, keep you from having a good time, keep you from getting out there, or doesn't want you to have that. This is crazy. Ugh. It's giving me the ick. Or like, ugh. Someone like controlling and like, and might not even be like malicious. It might even be like they just want to keep you home with them instead of letting you leave them. It's like they're not even trying to be mean. It's like they just want to feel secure, so they want you to stay at home with them. But you want to go out and have fun. And you could have fun with friends. So you gotta not let that emperor control your life, right? Ah, this is like giving me like I feel a little bit stressed about it. Like it's almost like you gotta sneak out of the house, which is crazy, but yeah, because normally he's like a provider and a protector, right? He's a helper. Hopper is a helper. It was funny to say. But, he is. He's supposed to be that. But I think in one of the seasons, he's actually very, he has a bad character. Like, he's very controlling of the women in his life. He's controlling of Eleven, and even trying to make Joyce fall in love with him when she's clearly not into it. And he gets, like, this really surly attitude about it. Like, he's been wronged, but it was actually him just misreading things and trying to make something happen that wasn't there. And like, so even those that seem like they're protectors and providers can become, a controlling dark energy in our life if we allow it, right? Because we don't have to allow it. We can set a boundary. We can say, hey, no, I'm not doing this right now. But honestly, in this situation, I feel like with the 7 of dice, you've really got to be careful here. You've got to not, I hope you're not in an unsafe situation. And if you are, reach out to people that can help you, because I don't want anything bad to happen to you. But, if there's someone around you who's controlling, maybe just be careful with your words with this. There's a way forward to get what you want without having to start a fight or put yourself in the way of emotional harm, right? Yeah, speak up for yourself, but do so, with intent, with careful strategy. Yeah. Because like the 6 of scoops, or the 6 of discs, I have to tell myself every time, because I think the scoops are the cups, but they're not. They're the pentacles, 6 of pentacles. It's like, this is all about equality and fairness, right? And look, the hands coming together, they're perfectly equal. They got equal amount of scoops together, and they're coming back together in this way that there's joy and fairness and lightness to it. It's not like, and I think it's actually a woman and a man's hand there. So, maybe this is kind of exposing to you, going out and having fun with others is kind of exposing to you how this is a distortion of how it should be, how this is actually a little bit unbalanced. right? For them to be behaving that way and being controlling over your life, basically. Bugs me. Yeah. Yeah. And this calls for your wisdom as well. So, that could relate to the Seven of Swords. Because it's knowing when to receive and when to offer wisdom, right? And it also asks you it tells you to ask for help if you know it's necessary. It's a card about giving and receiving. So, maybe there has been some inequality here, like you haven't been receiving as much as you've been giving, and you're starting to realize that. You're starting to realize what equality looks like, what fairness looks like, what warmth and joy feels like without this, distortion around you. I don't know if this is a person or not, but it feels like, it could be it's like a controlling man. But it could be a woman too. Apply it as it applies to your life, right? But it's that Emperor energy of needing to control everything, which can be a good thing when control is called for. We need to have, be assertive and controlling, when we need to take charge of our life, for example. But in this case, it's the energy of someone who wants to control your life in a certain way, which might be just to make themselves comfortable, right? Give themselves what they want, and that's not fair to you. You deserve, things too. You deserve to have a good time and be happy. So take that as you will. And it tells you to ask for help. So if there's a situation here that you can't handle it on your own, you can call for the help from others. Maybe you gotta trick somebody so you can get out for a night to have fun. Yeah, but always, be safe. Always. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. But just, what does fairness look like to you? What would be a fair resolution in this scenario, right? You deserve to have fun too. You deserve to see your friends. You deserve to go out to something fun. You don't have to stay home just because someone else wants you to be with them. And if that person makes you feel guilty for going out, maybe it's time to, look in other places. Maybe consider something better for your life, right? I'm going to get some Land Sky Oracle cards. See what else we need to do in this situation. Oh, maybe actually... Yeah, I'm going to actually get... Maybe I'll get those later, but I think I'm being called to the moon cards right now, so I guess that's what we're doing. I guess they changed their mind. Alright, let's do moon. The moon. Yasmin Bowl. I can't remember her last name. But Yasmin's Moonology deck. Go. Believe in the impossible. Okay. I want to get one more card here, actually. One more. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Okay. Maybe you feel like... Maybe there's someone you feel like you can't stand up to. Or you feel like... You feel like maybe you can't have a good time without this person, maybe. Or that... There isn't... Here, one sec. I should just take a moment and... There might be some revelations you have that make you realize that this situation isn't good for you. And there's something you're going to see that's going to make that very obvious to you. So just be on the lookout for the signs for that. But I think this will resolve for you. The answers you need are coming. Yeah, I think the situation will resolve in a good way, in the best way possible. Yeah. So maybe you kind of need to be set free from it, and maybe there's going to be something that happens that seems like it might seem bad, but it's kind of like a miracle because it gets you out of your situation. Hmm. Believe in the impossible. Yeah. Maybe you just think that you can't have it all, but you actually can. And that's what you have to shift is your mindset. That you can have good times without this person or this energy in your life. Because even if it's not a person, it's the energy of, feeling too rigid and controlling about your situation. Like maybe you feel like you can't go out and have fun because I don't know, there's financial issues or um yeah, because Six of Scoops, Pentacles, maybe you feel kind of poor like right now, or maybe you feel like it's too hard for you. And you got the treasure chest here. Yeah, there's definitely something about money here going on. Yeah, like you don't maybe you think that you can't have fun times because things are so financially strapped for you. But it's going to turn out that you really can. And maybe there's actually going to be some abundance coming in for you that's going to help you out of this situation. Believe in the impossible. Believe that it's going to work out for you, and it will. I know that sounds like something that people just say, but it really does work. The universe responds to our thoughts, to our vibration. And when we believe something's going to happen to us, for us, if we just believe everything's going to work out, it's going to work out. It might happen in a strange way that we're not expecting, but it will work out. I think you're stressed about finances here, but the answers you need are coming. I think something's going to come in for you to help you out. Full moon in Gemini. And we got the dice here. There's something about communication. Yeah, just, wait for a communication that's going to help you. Maybe it's a phone call, maybe it's a letter, but I think something's going to come in for you to assist you so that you don't have to feel so constrained. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be assistance coming in for you. But you have to believe it, right? Okay, now I'm going to take these cards. I think we needed those moon cards first to clarify some things, I guess on the side of like finances and stuff. See what was going on. Yeah, because that's an element to it. Maybe if there is a person in your life that's toxic like this, maybe they're abusing you with money. Like they're what's that term? I just learned this. Financial abuse. Yeah. If they're making you feel guilty for spending any money on yourself or acting like they own all the money and you can't spend any of it without their permission, that's abuse. That's toxic. I just learned about that, and I think that's really happening to a lot of women who are in that situation. It can happen to a man too, if but I mean, you know what I mean. A lot of times it does happen in that scenario, right? Where it's a man who like feels that, well, I pay for everything, therefore I say how everything is spent, and it's like, well, do you there's give and take in a relationship. Yeah, give and take here. So somebody, yeah, is maybe abusing that system with you, making you feel like you constantly have to give, or it makes it seem like they're the ones always giving, but they're not. They're actually taking from your life, just in different ways, right? Because it's not just about financial, it's about joy, right? And some people can say like, well, I provide the money, but you know, maybe they don't clean or help out around the house, or maybe you do other things that they disregard as contribution, right? You know, if you're doing everything around the house and taking care of the kids and you do it 24/7 and they go 8 hours a day working, you know, is that fair? Is it fair that you have a 24/7 hour job versus their 8 hour, right? Doesn't make sense, does it? Make it make sense. Because, like, that's not right, you know? And I see a lot of men, like, online. Maybe I'm just in the wrong spaces because I see a lot of toxic men, but I see a lot of them will say things like that where it's like, well, that's your job, but, you know, if you have kids with this person and they're not helping you out, letting you have fun times, that sometimes, like, you know, obviously you can't always, we have kids, can't go out every night, but you know, you should be able to have maybe one fun night here and there. Like, I don't have kids, so I don't know what's reasonable, but I just think, you know, people need a break, right? You can't do everything all the time. And if someone's making you feel that way, I don't know. Malachite, heal. 26. Yeah. So maybe you're healing from that dynamic. And it could, you know, it could even be, maybe it wasn't like a relationship with a man, like with kids and stuff. Maybe it could even be just like, maybe you were like constantly exposed to that mindset growing up where it was like, you can't spend money on yourself, you can't have fun and do things because, you know, spending money's bad or whatever. Like, I don't know what the mindset was, but, you know, I think you're learning to get through that. You're learning to heal that toxicity and learn how to have fun life, go in the flow of life. Because sometimes money returns to us, right? So, you know, and everybody works so hard. Like, spend a little money on yourself. If you want to have one fun night, go for it. That's what I say. Tell them I said it's fine. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. But, is it this card? Yeah. So, what else we got here? Remember, Mala. Got the prayer beads. 39 and 26. These are like prayer beads too. Maybe you don't even realize that you have some of these mindsets kind of controlling you, right? Like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's no one involved. Maybe it's just your own mind that's telling you you can't have fun, you can't spend money and do, you know, have a one fun night, right? Because this emperor can sometimes be a father, right? So maybe you had a dad growing up that was really controlling with money. Maybe he did financially abuse your mother and you witnessed that as a child and it kind of influenced you growing up. Or maybe he was just really stringent, anal about spending money on food. So that kind of led to, I don't know why I said food there. Maybe he was. Got ice cream here. Eat the food. Let yourself have an ice cream. I don't know, like get a cherry slushy. You can't live your life like that where it's all work and no fun, right? I think you have to let go of the mindset that you're always going to struggle, because if you believe that, you will. Believe that money is coming to you. Maybe say an affirmation for money is and abundance as well. Like, say, money flows easily to me. I am abundant. There's a simple one. You could do that every day and see it affect your life. See how it plays out. Because I don't think that when we hold on to money, it kind of melts out of our hand, right? That's what happens. The universe wants flow. So, you know, you spend money and you get money. It sounds illogical, but it's true. And, you know, I think as long as we're putting in the effort, we'll see our returns come back to us, you know? Like, obviously, don't go crazy and go buy a car or something or in a house just out of nowhere. But I think you can make some purchases. Be wise with your purchases, but, you know, and I don't even know if it's that. It's like you can't spend money on fun. It's like that's the issue. You struggle with that. But you can, you know, if you want to have one fun night, do it. Do it. Don't hold yourself back. The money will come back. And you know, the memories will last for a long time. They will, and you'll be glad you did it. You can't spend all day every day in your house and feel miserable, right? You got to let yourself live a little. You got to live a little, right? Just, you know, try, you know, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. There's ways to, you know, be really frugal and still have a good time. I do it all the time. I find the way. And sometimes people are willing to help us out, you know? Again, believe in the impossible. Because maybe you're going to get some assistance. Courage. Yeah, have courage. Don't let fear rule the day. Don't let it decide your whole life. Because, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of your life, even, what are you going to be happy about? That you lived your life very stringently and frugally and you didn't do much, or that you know, you took some risks and you lived a little. What's that movie? It's just coming to me right now. What is it? Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. Maybe you should watch that movie. It's not necessarily about money, but like it's you know, it shows how one day can change a person's life. And I don't know, I just feel like you should. Because maybe you're kind of like Miss Pettigrew. Like maybe you kind of live a certain kind of way. Like you don't dress yourself up. You don't, it's like you're not jumping into the flow of life and not tasting life's sweetness. But you can. And people will help you do that. And there's ways to, there's always a way. There's always a way. I don't know why all the movie quotes are coming to me right now, but life finds a way from Jurassic Park. But you'll find a way. Your life finds a way, no matter what your circumstances are. You know, some of the poorest people in the world have a lot of fun. You can find it, and you know, if there's something draining your finances, you know, like I don't know why smoking's coming up for me right now. But maybe consider what freedoms you could have if you quit smoking. That's so random. I don't know if you are a smoker or not, but that might be part of it. Retirement. Maybe you got to retire the smoking. Or this could be someone who, you know, maybe they're thinking about retirement all the time. So they're like, I can't spend money. I need that for retirement. Or it's like you're working too hard and you gotta, you know, give yourself some, like a break. Like you retire and do something fun for a day. Yeah, it's always for a day today. Or in this reading, I keep saying a day. Like, it's like you can't even offer yourself a fun day. But you need to do that. You need to see that it's okay to have a little fun here and there. And you'll be surprised how much you'll be restored. And, you know, when it restores us and makes us happy, that raises our vibration. And our vibration raises, then more opportunities and abundance comes to us. So, you know, think of it like that. Think of it as an investment in your vibration. Think of it as an investment in your restoration. Because we need to rest, we need to have fun, we need to feed our soul. So feed your spirit a little bit by giving it a little bit of fun. And you'll see new things happen for you in your life. Because if we stay all day at home, all day, every day, you know, our energy gets really, really stagnant. Have the courage to live. Yeah. And this will heal you. Because, you know, you're sitting home in your wounds and it's not helping you. It's not feeding your spirit. And with remember, you know, it's like remember what you did as a kid will help you. Because, you know, when we're kids, we don't have any money at all, but yet we still have so much fun. So maybe you should call in that spirit in yourself. Go have fun. Even if it's just going on a bike ride with your friends. You know? It's funny how we all got on our bikes and then just had a whole day doing things outside, like doing silly things. You know? Maybe that's what you need to do. Or maybe you're going to go to a fair. Maybe you're going to sneak into a fair. I don't know. I'm not encouraging you to do anything illegal. Please don't do that. But like don't be safe. But you know, get up to some shenanigans. Have some fun and silliness. Have some courage. Yeah. To see what life can offer you. Because, you know, believe in the impossible here, the blue moon. Believe it's possible, and you'll see impossible things happen for you. Yeah. All right. I think that's the end of the reading because I'm not getting anything else. I hope this was helpful for you. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment if you want to share your story because I love to read about how it resonates. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care.